morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yay.
Morning.
All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here we are. Thanks for coming. Here's the good news. You cannot do the next hour wrong. It is impossible. The next 60 minutes, or we'll call it 59 and 58 minutes, you can't do wrong no matter what you do. This is recorded. It is shared with people who are part of my private group. You will not be required to pour your guts out here. There will not be an opportunity to do anything embarrassing. So in case being recorded makes you nervous, there you go. If you have a note taker that showed up, it will be kicked out though, however, just so you know. I'm gonna set the stage here for a moment. Then I'm going to do some teaching. Then you're going to do some experimenting. Then we will come together and talk about what we experienced. Then I'll teach. Then you will experiment. Then we will come together until our time runs out. This entire time together that we do today is about experimenting. It was inspired by what I'm going to talk about was inspired by the book called Letting Go by David R. Hawkins. It may or may not be helpful to you with your own experimenting. It is certainly not required reading to be here. Everything we will talk about here is covered also in the first two chapters. So if you check out the book, everything we're doing here is all about the first two chapters of the book. Here's what you'll need for the duration of our time. You'll need your ears, you'll need your feelings, you'll need your thoughts. Notes are not required. They are completely optional. I'm going to, throughout this call and for the next couple minutes, talk. My hope is that you will simply take in what I'm saying. You'll take in the words, you'll take in the feelings around the words. The words are important. The feelings around the words are extra important. While the experiment and everything we do today is not about thinking, it is about feeling. I just want you to hear this loud and clear. Your thoughts are allowed. They are expected. I find it very hard to avoid my own thoughts. That is okay. That is not part of the experiment. And soon you'll understand. If you don't know why I'm saying the experiment, you'll understand that soon. Okay, here we're going to set the stage here a little bit more. My ideal scenario is, and in a couple minutes, I'm actually going to invite you to turn your volume down. That time has not come yet, but in a couple minutes, I'm going to invite you to turn your volume down. My dream situation would be this, is I'm able to set up this experiment for you in a way that when it is time to turn your volume down, the experiment works so well and it's so luscious for you that you don't want to come back to the teaching and the rest of this call. That would be my dream scenario. So we're going to be less than 10 minutes in, and my hope is you don't need me anymore. So here's my first request. I guess here's another thing you'll need, a timer. Please set a timer for 10 minutes to this next hour, because at 10 minutes to the next hour, we'll do some concluding and some next steps, and I'll have a couple of invitations for you. So please right now, literally set a timer for 45 minutes from now or 10 minutes until the next hour. This will all make a little more sense in a moment. All right. So that was the setting the stage part. Now we're going to get into, I'm going to do a little teaching. You will do an experiment. Well, we'll all do the experiment. I'll be doing it with you. You'll do an experiment. We will come back and share observations. Then I will teach again. We will run an experiment. You will come back and share observations, and we will rinse and repeat that until 10 minutes to the next hour. So round one of teaching. I want to talk about thoughts a little bit. So often when we think about head trash, and you'll see when we run this experiment, people feel or believe that what they need to do is get rid of their thoughts. In my experience, getting rid of your thoughts is impossible. For me, anytime I've done any sort of meditation where it's, I'm trying to just observe my thoughts, I just get into a wrestling match. So here's how I want to set this up. This is a story I was told about two of my cousins. They were taking a bath. Their mom was very efficient. She put them both into the bathtub at the same time. One of them was playing with his toys on one side of the bathtub. The other one was playing with her toys on the other side of the bathtub. And my cousin Ryan said to my cousin Jessica, "No mermaids allowed, no mermaids allowed." So Jessica just kept playing with her little mermaids over here on the side of the tub, said, "No mermaids allowed, no mermaids allowed." And she, played a little more, said it again, "No mermaids allowed, no mermaids allowed." And she looked at him and said, "We're not being allowed, we're being quiet." So I think that's a funny story. I also think that's a story about your thoughts. This is not a situation of no thoughts allowed, no thoughts allowed. Your thoughts will be a tool when we get into this. So here's the first experiment I would like you to run. This is a warm-up experiment. Before we do that, I'm going to share this. In the book, Letting Go by David R. Hawkins, he talks about this experience that we have in our culture with our emotions or our feelings. And I'm going to talk about feelings instead of emotions. We have this experience with our feelings where we typically do one of three things. We either suppress or repress them, we shove them down. And if any of you watched the Avengers movie recently, they talk about shoving your emotions down. So that's a common thing. We suppress them or repress them. A second common thing we do is we escape them. We work like crazy. We get addicted to something. We keep ourselves super busy, etc. We escape from our feelings. The third thing we tend to do, and this is what blows my mind about David R. Hawkins' teaching, is we express them. We talk about them. And what he learned in his own research, in his own life, and with his own patients, he is a psychiatrist and he has an MD, is that when you express, when you talk about your emotions, what you do is you take the lid off of those feelings enough that you can either escape from them or repress them. And what he suggests in his book, and what I have a twist on, and what I'm calling the experiment is, instead of repressing or suppressing or escaping from or expressing our emotions, the experiment I'm talking about is experiencing your feelings fully, experiencing them fully. What he talks about in the book and why he called it letting go is that after you experience your feelings fully, you can let them go. In my experience of running what I'm calling the experiment, you don't have to let your feelings go. They let go of you. When you fully feel your feelings, they let go of you. And that is the experiment I'm inviting you to. I'm inviting you to fully feel your feelings. No, I'm inviting you to run an experiment around this. What happens when I fully feel my feelings? Or what I like to say, what happens when I feel about my feelings? There are thoughts which are word things. I don't know about you, but I've been taught to describe my feelings. That's still keeping it in the land of words. Feelings are not words. Feelings are other than words. Feelings are the feelings around the words or the feelings around the thoughts. So now we will begin the first round of teaching. This is the warm-up that I'm inviting you to. Just a warm-up for feeling feelings. I'm going to set a timer here in 1 minute. And what my invitation to you is this. I would like you to feel the inside of your hands. And if that gets powerful or awesome or boring or weird or whatever, go ahead and feel the inside of your arms. But you don't even have to go beyond that. You can spend 1 minute feeling the inside of your hands. So this is your first invitation to go ahead and feel the inside of your hands. The first step, though, is turn the volume down, because this might be such an amazing experience that you just want to spend the next however many minutes there are feeling the inside of your hands. And if you get lost in that, that's a huge win in my book. So in just a moment, turn the volume down. If you can't stand it or it's making you crazy, go ahead and turn the volume up. Whenever that happens, whenever you come back, it'll be perfect timing. So I'm setting my timer now. Please go ahead and turn your volume down and feel the inside of your hands. Okay, that was 1 minute. For those of you who got tired of it or uncomfortable about it or just decided you were curious and wanted to come back, I would love to hear from anyone who's interested in sharing what was that experience for you. Please use the react button on the bottom and raise your hand. This might mean you're all just sitting there feeling your hands, and that would be so glorious in my book. We're going to do another warm up, another 1 minute. Oh, and I want to say this for any of you who what you were feeling was the inside, like the where the bones are and the blood is moving, etc. That's part of this too, the feeling the inside, like the between the skin part. So if that was the experience you were having, great. You cannot do this wrong. Feeling the outside is right. Feeling the inside between the skin is right. You cannot do anything wrong in the next, I can't do the math until the session is done. And my hope is you can take that for the rest of your day. You can't do anything wrong. This isn't right and wrong. Here's the second warm up around just practicing feeling. And a reminder, all thoughts are allowed during this. All thoughts are allowed. They don't have to be a quiet. Here's my invitation to you. I'd like you to feel the room you're in. Perhaps there are other people in it. Perhaps you can hear some other people. Perhaps you know there's other people around you. You might feel them as well. And I don't mean get up and touch them, although you could if you want, if you think that's okay with them. I just mean feel the room you're in, feel the space that you're in, feel the room you're in. So this is my second invitation. If your volume's up, go ahead and turn it down now. I'm going to come back in 1 minute. Okay, that was 1 minute. Feeling the room that you're in. Who feels compelled to share about that experience, feeling the room that you're in? Again, perhaps it was so delicious, you're all just staying in that space. Mm. Okay, that is the warm up. Now, which is part of the experiment. Now let's go into the next piece here. So this next teaching is about truly running the experiment as I experience it. Throughout the day or night, and quite honestly, I want to say this. I don't know what starts first. Does the emotion start first? Does the feeling start first? And then there's the thought? Or does the thought start and then there's the feeling? I honestly don't know. And I don't know that it matters. Maybe someone can tell me. But the point of me talking about this is to say this. We have feelings throughout the day that usually for me, I notice them when there's a thought. That might be true for you. It might not be. There's a thought. And again, I said the thought is a word thing, it's a concept thing, it's a word thing. Around that thought is a feeling. The experiment is this: to notice there's a feeling and then feel the feeling until there's nothing more to feel and it lets you go. I tend to have better luck with this when there's like an acute feeling, like a thing happening at the moment. And here we are, sort of artificially um, creating the environment to do an experiment. I'm still going to invite you. We're going to do it for 1 minute first. Um, you're going to feel whatever feelings are there. The feelings might include something like, this is super weird. Sarah is nuts. I am wasting my time. This isn't working. Perfect. All thoughts are allowed. None of the thoughts need to be a quiet. Notice your thoughts, especially notice the feelings around the thoughts and feel the feelings. You might feel a feeling based on one thought, and then poof, it's gone, and another one shows up. Beautiful. Feel that feeling until poof. You might feel like your brain is going bing, 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 bing all over the place. That's perfect. Your brain is serving up opportunities to you to run the experiment. We're going to keep this one short again. And just so you know, we're never going to get into like we are going to sit here for 55 minutes. No, we're going to do 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 minute experiments. So again, if you had your volume up, this is your invitation to turn it down, and we'll come back in 1 minute. If it's juicy and amazing and you're just getting served up feelings everywhere, go with it. Come back whenever you're ready to come back. Volume down, here we go. That was 1 minute. Who has observations or experiences from that experiment that they would like to share? Someone's hand is or was up, but it's down again. Would you put it back up if you would like to share? Maybe it was an accident. No. Um, who found that to be absolute torture? Go ahead and put your hand up. I'm not going to make you talk. Just, I want to see if there was anybody who was like, oh my God, that was a nightmare. Oh, one person. Oh, I got a thumbs up from one person. Okay. Yeah. Tricky. Oh, a hand up and a thumbs up. Okay. Do you want to share something? Okay, you just did both. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Um, absolute torture is a perfect invitation to run the experiment on the absolute torture you're experiencing. Isn't this funny? I will back up and say this. When I first read this book, I started laughing like crazy because it was so funny to me. Because here we are just offered an opportunity over and over and over and over.
Weird, Sarah, but
Isn't it weird? You give it your attention, you feel it, and off it goes. There is a video. There's a little snip you can find on the internet if you feel like looking for it right now. It's a scene from Family Guy. If you know the show Family Guy, it actually doesn't matter if you know the show Family Guy. Lois, the mom, like lays down in bed. She's clearly tired. She lays down, and her toddler Stewie comes up to her and says, "Mom, mom, 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 mom," and it goes on and on and on and on and on. "Mom, mom, mom," and then she finally looks at him and says, "What?" And he says, "Hi," and he runs away. That is my favorite cartoon to show that experience that you just shared, Matt, and that I've had. It's like, oh, you look at it, you give it your attention, and off it runs. Oh, and in the Family Guy video, Stewie giggles, and it's silly and ridiculous. And that is what I experience in my own life anyway. Here's another way that I experience it. I might feel like I'm at my desk, I'm trying to work, and it's like there's 27,000 people banging on the door. Sarah, 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 we need you, we need you, we need you. And I'm trying to work. And then what happens? My shoulders go up, my heart starts to race, I get stressed out, I can't think very well. In this work, in this experiment, it's simply about go ahead, open the door and look. Look at the first feeling that's in line. You don't have to look at all 27,000, look at the first one. My experience is it's quite magical. The first one is the one to start with. Go ahead and start with the first one and then see what's next. And that's part of why I'm saying turn your volume down, because if you get going, if there's one that shows up, you look at it and it dissolves or it goes away, or it goes, or it says hi and runs away, there's probably another one. Go ahead and be with that one until it goes away. And that might feel so cool or uncomfortable or wonderful or whatever that you don't want to stop. And again, that's my dream scenario. So with that, we're going to do a little longer experiment. If you are like me, which I like to imagine you are, you might be a person who's like, I'm going to do this right. I'm going to come up with something I've been really trying to work on, and I'm going to work on that thing. And then you try to put that thing in the front of the line. And then nothing's happening. In my experience, I actually call that experimentation constipation. In my experience, if you're trying to do that, if you're just trying to go for the gold right away, it might work better, or you might have what feels like, I don't want to use words like doing it right or doing it wrong. You might enjoy the experiment more. You might feel more successful. None of those words are right. Damn it, I got to come up with a word. Anyway, here's my invitation. Experiment with petty things. Experiment with something petty. I don't like Sarah's shirt. The time of this meeting is bad. My arm is itchy. My back hurts. Actually, those things are not petty. Those just might be what's available. Go with what's available. If it's physical pain, feel the physical pain. If it's itchiness, feel the itchiness. If it's a bouncy leg, feel that. Whatever is available. Don't have to go for the big giant thing. Might be just whatever is available, that simple thing, whatever is showing itself to you. We're going to do a slightly longer experiment. This one will be 3 minutes. In just a moment, I'll invite you to turn the volume down. Again, if you start feeling like this lineup is just available to you and they're coming one after the other, go with it. Stay there. know that your timer is going to go off and bring you back in time for us to conclude. So this will be 3 minutes. I invite you to turn your volume down starting now. That was 3 minutes. For those of you who have your volume up, who would like to share your experience? We are simply inviting our thoughts, our landlords, our hot tubs, our to-do lists, our invitations to feel our feelings, the feelings that come up around them. And the participating in the experiment is about inviting yourself to run an experiment. Okay, what happens if I feel my feelings about this thing? No requirement that you become a better human, that you come up with a better plan, that anything is different. Just what happens when I look at Stewie, when I feel the feeling. A comment came in the chat, and what's interesting is I'm doing the experiment here with you as well. And Melissa said, the amount of song lyrics that keep banging into my brain is entertaining. I was having that same experience. Like song lyrics. And I thought, well, wow, there's a thought in there. What is the feeling around those song lyrics? I invite you to take anything that's banging on your head or a physical pain, a feeling, anything that is a feeling, physical or emotional, and accept the invitation to feel it, to feel that feeling, which might show up in the form of song lyrics. And they might be happy song lyrics. Might be, you are my sunshine. Great. Feel the feelings around you are my sunshine. Okay, beautiful. We have time. We're going to run one more experiment. Again, whatever shows up for you. One person has shared with me he finds it helpful to go to a specific situation, to go to a phone call, a meeting, a session, be somewhere with a friend or a family member. Feel the feelings around that. That might be helpful to you. Or simply going with what's showing up for you in this moment. We're going to do a 4-minute experiment starting now. So go ahead and turn your volume down. We'll be back in 4 minutes. That was 4 minutes. Other thoughts before we start to conclude, observations or questions? Mm, okay. Thank you so much to those of you who raised your hand. And when I say thank you, I mean, please thank you. Please say thank you to yourself. Experience without reflection is forgotten, I think, is something that Jill Young says, a person who many of you know. I might be quoting her wrong, but the idea is having an experience, reflecting on it, helps it get remembered. So those of you who shared, or just those of you who I believe is all of you who reflected, thank you for doing that. Here's how we'll conclude. I want to give you a couple of invitations going forward. So the first invitation comes with a reminder. This actually is not something you need to practice. It is simply my invitation to you is to take the invitations you get from song lyrics, from physical pain, from annoying humans, from annoying things you do. Take the invitation. Experiment as often as possible, and it's simply an experiment. If it doesn't feel like that's working or you feel like you're failing or whatever, instead play a game called Notice How Many Times You Get an Invitation from Life to Run an Experiment. You can just start with that. Oh, there was an invitation. There was an invitation. Oh, got another one. Got another one. That might be the next first step there. What David Hawkins says, what Jill Young says, and what I now say is looking for opportunities, looking for evidence, and taking note of it is very powerful. So you may in the moment come around to a more peaceful, wonderful version of yourself. Awesome. You might not. That is not a requirement. What I do predict you will experience is you will start showing up in the world in ways that you did not expect. You will see evidence that the experiment is working. You will see more of that than you will feel like the experiment is actually working. So, and that's why I call this the experiment. Please collect your evidence. Please collect your evidence. For me, I find it's extremely powerful to collect the evidence on video. And I do it in the app called Marco Polo. There's something very powerful about recording myself saying, here's an experience I had. It was different. For example, when I first started doing the experiment, I did it on a Saturday night. The next morning, it was a Sunday. I needed to unpack and do laundry. Usually those two tasks, for some reason, cost me 1 million energy points. The very next morning, I unpacked and did laundry, and it was nothing. It might as well have been picking up this piece of paper. That was my first piece of evidence. So please keep track of your evidence. If you write it down, that's great. If you just mention it, it's great. But I would strongly recommend just download the Marco Polo app and do a video of yourself. You'll see yourself seeing your evidence. It's like you're coaching yourself when you do that. I also, next level invitation here is I find doing experiments with other people. That's why I'm hosting this. Doing it with other people who are experimenting makes it way more powerful. I have a private Marco Polo group. There are folks in there sharing their evidence and even coming in and saying, I have the chance to do an experiment. I'm going to do it here on Marco Polo. I'm going to put it in the chat. If you would like to join that private group, you get the recording from this in case you can't come. You're part of the Marco Polo group. I'm in there experimenting. We're all in there experimenting and sharing our evidence of the experiment working. Or sometimes not working, and that works too. It gives you the opportunity to do this in community. What else? The last piece, also connected to doing this with other people. Please invite other people who you think this would be valuable to. I can't explain it. I think there's some like metaphysics explanation for this that I don't understand. I would never do a good job of explaining. But there's something about the energy of a group of people being here together. It makes it exponential. It's like it opens some sort of portal and allows this to work. So my final invitation is please share this invitation with other people. Actually, send them an email and tell them to come because apparently I've sent the wrong Zoom room to people. So, well, whatever. Anyway, invite others to come and invite yourself to come back. There is no practice. All thoughts are allowed. It is just about running experiments. And if that's even too much, just noticing all the beautiful invitations you get every day to run an experiment. Thank you for being here. I get to go do an experiment now on how joyful I am that you were a part of this today. We do have 6 minutes left. My content is done. If anybody wants to stay after, share observations or ask questions, I'll be here for another, well, 5 minutes now. Otherwise, our time is done for today. Enjoy your experiments this week, or don't. You'll have feelings to feel around the experiments. Thanks for being here.